Will Kenny resume his QB1 status?
He will, but obviously there will be competition. There's always competition in this thing. We don't anoint anyone. Um, Man, I'm appreciative of his efforts and where he is and excited about continuing to work with him. But certainly, he will be challenged from a competition perspective moving forward. Competition brings the best out in all of us.
So there you heard it. Kenny Pickett is going to resume QB1 duties going into next season. But my question is why? Why does he deserve being QB1 already going into next season? But we're about to talk about it. Welcome to another episode of Coach Walker TV. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. Let's jump right into it. All right. As of right now, the Kenny Pickett and Mike Tomlin show is coming back to town in Pittsburgh in 2024. The biggest question I have is why does Kenny Pickett automatically get to be the QB1 going into the 2024 season? Yes, I understand how it works. He was the #1 draft pick for the Steelers a couple years ago, but he hasn't proven himself on the field. He had his second year this year, and he didn't play better than he did last year. He didn't really take a step forward. He kind of was the same guy. He did not improve. And I would think as a #1 draft pick, you would want that guy to improve. You could clearly see with the naked eye, anybody with any kind of football IQ and good football sense can clearly see using the eye test that Mason Rudolph played a heck of a lot better than Kenny Pickett did in only his 3 or 4 games that he played. Even in the playoff game, Mason wasn't as bad as Kenny Pickett I think would have been in that game. He threw a bad pass at the goal line for the interception, but overall Mason played well. Kenny Pickett played 12 games this year and only threw 6 touchdowns and threw 4 interceptions. Mason played 4 games this year and threw 3 touchdowns. He threw half the amount of touchdowns that Kenny Pickett did in 12 games. Mason did it in 4 games. His offensive production was through the roof. You can see the team, and I'm talking about Mason here. You can see the team, rally around him and really play for him. I don't know if they believe in Kenny like that. Obviously, Mike Tomlin is coming back to town. He said in his press conference, he anticipates coming back. We don't know how long his contract renewal is going to be. Kenny's coming back. This will be Kenny Pickett's make or break year, but it sounds to me that we're about to have another experimental season here with Kenny Pickett going back there. I don't think he makes some kind of great leap in the offseason and comes back in 2024 and becomes this guy that we, Steelers fans wanted him to be. He's not it. He's just not it. Yes, Mason Rudolph may get lost in free agency, but if the Steelers were smart, they wouldn't let him get lost in free agency and just sign the man. Keep the man on the roster. He's been on the roster since he's been drafted. Don't let him get away now, because now if you let him get away, now you're back leaning on Kenny Pickett again. Something happens to him or he's not playing well. Who do we have coming in to back him up, and who is the next guy up? I really, as a Steelers fan, I don't like the fact that, we got to stick with Kenny Pickett going into 2024. We saw what he did in 23 prior to him getting hurt. He wasn't productive, not productive enough to get the Steelers where they need to be. So here we go again, the Mike Tomlin, Kenny Pickett show. I feel like we're going to have a repeat of this past season, experimenting, trying to win with Kenny Pickett when we obviously see Kenny Pickett can't get the job done. But listen, what do y'all think? Y'all let me know. Jump in the comments. Let's have our conversation like we always do. Again, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Subscribe, like, comment. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.